Dear students, in previous class we discussed about constructors. What is constructor? What are the rules for writing the constructor? How to declare a constructor? And one programming example we have discussed in previous class. So now today we discuss about what are the types of constructors. There are three types of constructors are there. In that first one is the default constructor. Second is a parameterized constructor and third is a copy constructor. So we can discuss one by one. What is default constructor, what is parameterized constructor and what is copy constructor. So today first I will discuss about default constructor. See definition of default constructor. A constructor which does not accept any argument is called zero argument constructor or default constructor. A constructor that does not accept any arguments is called as a zero argument constructor or default constructor. It means that you have taken one constructor, declared constructor. That constructor is not having any arguments. Such type of constructors are called as a default constructor or zero argument constructor. If your constructor is not having any arguments, such constructor it is called as a zero argument constructor or default constructor. Then see what are the features of default constructor. I will explain one by one. So first one, for every object created, this constructor is automatically called. Okay. Yesterday I was discussed about constructors. Constructors need not to be called through the objects. It will be invoked automatically whenever object is created. Okay. So similarly, this default constructor will be invoked automatically. No need to call them through the objects. This is the first characteristics or features of default constructor. So first feature is that the default constructor are invoked automatically whenever this needs a constructor or whenever your object is created. So such default constructor is invoked automatically. Second, all objects of a class are initialized to same set of values by the default constructors. Suppose if you are using more than one objects, in that case all the objects can be initialized same set of value. Using default constructors, we are not able to initialize different values for different constructors or different objects. So once your constructor is created, once your class is created, you can create any number of objects, but only thing is that in default constructor all the objects are initialized to same set of values. Suppose example, for first object we are initialized values 10. For second we have to initialize 10 only, not 20. It will take same set of values. If you are using different objects, then also we have to initialize same value for both the objects. This is the second feature of default constructor. Means what? If you are using more than one objects, then also we have to initialize same values. Third, if different objects are to be initialized with different values, it cannot be done using default constructor. Suppose if you will initialize different values for different objects, in that case this default constructor will not be worked, it will not be executed, or if it is executed but it will show you same values. Whatever you will initialize for first objects, that value will be displayed. It will not show different values for different objects. This is the third feature. Okay. If you are using the two objects, and if you initialize two different values for both the objects, then also it will show you same value for both the objects. This is the third features of default constructor. So one thing you keep in your mind, in default constructor you can use only one object. Okay, suppose if you use one more object also, in that case also we can assign same value for both the objects. It is not possible to assign different values for different objects. All the objects can have same set of values. This is the third feature. Then see syntax of default constructors. Class name, scope logician operator, constructor name. Constructor name is a class name only. Okay. First is class name, scope logician operator, then constructor name. Constructor name is a class name only. Then arguments. Whatever arguments are there, you can define your constructor arguments. Now see one example student is a constructor, opening press, closing press. Whatever your values are there, you have to define it in within the brackets. Within the parenthesis, you can opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. Within that, you can define the values. Okay. Then see one simple programming example about default constructor. So here, hash include iostream.h, hash include ponyo.h, class x, x is a class name, class is a keyword, opening press, private int ab, a and b are the private data members, then public. Okay, I have given a split space here, I will write it later, just see program. Then over display, what we can display? Cout a and b. Okay, so you are using two data members a and b, so that a and b we can display here. Cout a and b, closing. Then word main. In main function we have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. X is a class name. Using class name we can create the objects. Using class name we can create the objects, that is object 1 and object 2. Then see a is equal to 10 in public. See in public, x open close brackets means it is a constructor, opening press, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. We have assigned a value as a 10 and b value as a 20. We have assigned two values, a and b. A is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. We have assigned. Okay. Closing press, object 1 and object 2. When you will create object 1, the constructor will be invoked automatically. Then it will automatically show you a value and b value. What are the a value and b value? A is 10 and b is 20. It will show you. Okay. And you will create second object, that is object 2. Then also constructor will be invoked automatically. In that case also it will show you same answer, that is a is 10 and b is 20. For second object also it will show you same answer, that is a is 10 and b is 20. It means what? If you are using two objects, then also this program will show you a is 10, b is 20. It will not show you different answers. It will show you same answer. And you will write object 1 dot display. Using object we are calling the member function. Display is the member function of class. Display is the member function of class. Object 1 dot display. When you call this object, when you call this member function through the object, that is object 1 dot display. Object 1 will be called your display function. In that case, it will show you a is 10 and b is 20. It will show you a is 10 and b is 20. It will show you. See the output, a is 10, b is 20 means 10, 20. It will show you 10, 20. It will show you. When you call object 2, dot display, in that case again same member function, once again call. Same member function, once again call. Again it will show you a value and b value. Again it will show a is 10, b is 20. Again it will show a is 10, b is 20. Same program. Means already I told you, if you are using more than one object, in that case the constructor will initialize same set of values for all the objects. If you are using one or more objects, then also the values are same, initialization is same, that will show you 10 and 20 only. So this is one programming example of default constructor. The question may be asked for you 5 marks. Explain default constructor with programming example. So in that case, you have to write what is default constructor and write one this programming example like this. You have to write it. Okay. Then see what are the disadvantages of default constructor. While using the default constructor, what are the disadvantages are there? So first disadvantage is that when many objects of the same class are created, all the objects are initialized to same set of values by default constructor. Already I told you in previous program we have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. We have created two objects, object 1 and object 2. For both object 1 and object 2, the values will be initialized 10 and 20. For both the objects, it will show you 10 and 20. So that is the main disadvantage. Because if you are using more than one object, then also the values will be same initialized for all the objects. For all the objects, value will be initialized same set of values. So this is the one main disadvantage. This is the one main disadvantage. Okay, because it is not possible to assign different values for different objects. It is not possible to assign different values for different objects. Second, it is not possible to initialize different objects with different initial values using the default constructor. I already told you, using default constructor, it is not able to assign different values for different objects. It is not possible. Using default constructor, same set of values can be assigned. With different values, different objects, it is not possible. This is a second disadvantage. Got it? So this much is a default constructor. This much is a default constructor. So again, I will explain one programming example today, and then I will take your next class or next type, that is a parameterized constructor. So this much is what? Default constructor. This much is a default constructor. In next class, I will take the parameterized constructor. First I will take one programming example about this one, and then I will take the next types. Okay, thank you.